7:57 p.m. was a very, very bad time for Edo people. Tuesday, 29th of April 2025. Suspected Fulani S-men invaded the village and burnt down houses and people. I will show you the pictures and the video to it. It happened at exactly 7:57 p.m. in Edo State yesterday, 29th April 2025, Tuesday. If you are watching this video for the first time, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, all notifications, drop your comment, click the like button, also share this video with others. Edo yesterday was kind of bad news across that state. Suspected Fulani S-men invaded at 7:07 p.m. in the evening yesterday. Biafran evangelists, what do you have to say? After we'll do some analysis, I want to show my viewers the video. So you can see the video of people that were involved in what happened yesterday. What do you have to say about that?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night. Wherever you're watching us from, I am happy on what is going on. If you can come and say Nnamdi Kanu a terrorist, then what are you now going to call those ones?
The S-men.
Yes, what are you going to call the S-men? At least you can see the activities. You can see the activities that they are doing. Then if you can openly and boldly say Nnamdi Kanu is a terrorist, then what do you now call those terrorists or the herdsmen that are 5 people in the Edo State yesterday in the hour 7:57 p.m. in the night? Being the 29th, the very month that Nnamdi Kanu, is being accused of what? Terrorism. Now, let me tell you, it is the high time again. See, whenever we talk about this spying, it triggers me emotionally because what is Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually doing? What is he there for? Tinubu is not supposed to be president. I am sorry to say, he's not qualified.
No, he's qualified. According to INEC, he's qualified.
He doesn't have the criteria. What makes you a man? And what is the meaning of a husband? Or what is the meaning of a father? A father that cannot father his family. A father that cannot provide for his family. A father that cannot protect his family is not worthy of being a father. So Tinubu is not worthy of being a president. Because he is supposed to protect the life and property of the people of this country. But he was busy, selfish interest, thinking of 2027. It's not thinking of me and you. But look at the fight that went yesterday. Now, Atiku, I still repeat it again, Atiku, you don't fail. For you to support those bandit killing, Atiku, you are a failure. Sanusi and Co. Emir, whatsoever you call yourself, all of you are failures. I want to hear you people now react. I want to hear Mr. President now to send soldiers against those people. But thank God it happened, and I give God the glory that is happening now.
We are looking at the fact that the head of the Muslims in Nigeria, Sokoto, said that social media is a terrorist. But some people say that if not for social media, what we are doing, that this S-men killings or the crimes of people will not be broadcasted to outside. Yes. Who is the terrorist? Is it social media or the armed S-men?
Do you know why social media is a terrorist? Social media is exposing the terrorist acts. That is why they call it a terrorist. It's exposing those evildoers to the public, to the people. That is why they call it what? Terrorists. They want a situation whereby they will be committing crime and there will be no notice and it will not be recorded and it will not be detected. That is why they are calling it a terrorist. Because the real terrorist has been, Nigeria has failed to call terrorists a terrorist in this country. The Fulanis are the terrorists. Fulanis are the terrorists. They are the ones vandalizing our home, our farmland. Now me kill them for Benue. I've been a make buy them for Plateau. I've been a make buy them yesterday. 7:57 p.m. yesterday. You know what happened in Edo State?
What you are saying is fact that we cannot say Fulanis are
Okay, who are the people?
No, they are the armed people, maybe the S-men among them, not all Fulanis are the terrorists.
Now I want to put it to you. You say they arm them as they are walking, are they holding arms? But when they will carry it out, do you know? Did they used to write it on their face? These ones are the ones that will carry ammo. Nobody. They don't write it on their faces that they are going to carry arm until they carry it. So, excuse me, if you can open mouth in this country inside one room, come up and tag IPOB who has never for one day hold arm, you call them what? Terrorists. Then the people that hold arms entirely should be called what? Felony.
We are looking at the fact that okay, let's go to the issue. The Macban, Miet Alakatu, they have said that the people should protect them. But now it seems that some of their members are the ones that are carrying this act. But then that's an aside. The governor of Edo State reportedly collected the guns of the vigilantes. I don't think now it's time to return their weapons since it seems that these people are not ready to leave Edo State alone.
Of course, you don't need to negotiate this one. The weapons are supposed to be returned in 100 folds, in 1,000 folds, in 60 folds, even with apology. In the first place, why did you collect the gun from them? Why? Since the Nigerian government has refused to collect gun from the Fulani herdsmen. But now you as a governor of Edo State, you have the audacity to collect gun from the vigilantes. That means you have become an avenue. That means you are a sponsor of terrorists in your own very state. That's what it means.
Now, in the next 2 minutes, I would like to see the video of my viewers so that they can see that, like I saw this platform, everything we do here is we show you videos or pictures. So I will allow you and my viewers to see the video. It was in the night that it happened. We don't see the video in the next 2 minutes. What should the people of the South do? People are saying that it is time for the Southern Nigeria to collaborate. Yoruba, Igbo, Edo, Calabar, Ijo, so that they can form one security outfit. So that these armed people from the north or from Mali, they will not be able to penetrate them. What do you think that they should do?
Let me tell you this. Let me be sincere to us. If you are saying Igbos imagine with Yorubas, it's understatement. You know, go work. You know, go work. Because people in Yorubas still have that mentality they are the one benefiting in government. Igbos are not benefiting. So there is no way Igbos will form alliance with the Yorubas and expect it to work. The only alliance is those Port Harcourt and others, because we already the Calabar, they're already our brothers. We can form an alliance in our own way. Because Yorubas go betray them. If you should form any alliance with the Yorubas will betray them. You understand? Because Yoruba believe is that they are benefiting from the government. After Fulani, they are the one to. So what did they have to lose? So anytime let Yoruba go and form their own alliance within themselves. Let the Easterners form their own. So you can't say Yoruba, Igbo from go work.
Okay, now let me allow you to see the videos of the incident and my viewers. They will come back and then complete our conversation.
God bless you.
I don't know. You see what did happen? Umiaya. Wo moto are chayara efo gwabare na moto. Wo Kigbira TV Godame Wela. Ana ri moto chubadena. Wo. Ah ya.
Everybody you know ela Irako is into disarray. So Irako ero warrior everywhere. Emitifira wagolore Kodame and Nag in Nave. He said, "I this is anything Irako na Otovo." He meanak Fulani. The Irako gi Kodame la gi Irako. Bahotomalana. And if I be more ya or at equal as it belly and a bit belly or as it belly saying so if I yoke of food, we made a cake in a bima hero or barry. Ari a conic semala gelumi, a destroyer, ideala ya. Agwal and it should tori, if they catch you, who jet two, I mean, a bedella gay who toits Il qui a le tourné seulement. So il a le au guani tibie, qui a au guani sebe. So il a nakpo, il a fourni au agwe. So malade, il m'a l'ingwe, government il est pas mauko. Government il est à yéli maya. Il n'a que sénateur. Adam Sochomon le ka yeli maya. Ewi Gani Akokia, Honorable Gani Akokia, House of Assembly member representing constituency 2. Le ka yeli maya. Ni governor His Excellency. No ha yeli maya. Governor of the state, Edo State, Monday Okpewolo. Waha yeli maya because ima rewa can protect life, lively properties nisi on the state. So egbe afunoma bie la na egbe afunore bie egbe afunore kiyere ko odame ima na ko dame kwa bia wela dusa ero ko dame ero ko yere ko so amo.
Now, after seeing the video of the incident that happened yesterday, 29th of April on Tuesday, around 7:57 p.m., what can you say? What should be the next move of Governor Monday Okpebholo? I'm coming.
He said with apology to the vigilantes, to all the youth in Edo State. Arm them, equip them, and empower them so that they will be able to stand and fight the insecurity in Edo State. Because it's just like what they said, and one of the interview that was granted to me, and I told them, before the forming of the ESN by Mazen Namdekano, something happened. And what happened was the insecurity, the killing of the people of the land that made Mazen Namdekano to form ESN in order to secure their people. Since Nigerian government security personnel could not secure them, could not give them life safety, so they need to rise up to safeguard themselves. But Edo people should rise up now to safeguard themselves.
No, but the difference is that the ESN, according to the Nigerian government, they have been banned. That because it is not it is
banned in Nigeria, but it's not banned in the Igbo. It is not banned in our hearts. It is not banned in Biafra land.
It did not follow
self-security, self-determination, self-defense is not a crime.
No, like I said, the ESN was
not in Nigerian constitution.
The ESN was banned because
it is not in Nigerian constitution.
The governor did not form the ESN, but then the governors formed the Igbo governors and Agunecheba and Urugachi. Those ones are being recognized by the Nigerian government. But the vigilantes were formed by the Edo State government, but they took their guns. Is it time to return the guns so that they can go to the forest and flush out?
That's exactly what I am saying. They should return the gun back to them. 100-fold with apology. Give even to equip more people. Equip more people so that they will stand for the safety of their people and the safety of their own family and for themselves.
Okay, like I said, let me allow you to see the video, send the video again. It's trending. A Ghanaian man lambasted a Ghanaian journalist. He has lambasted Nigeria. Nigeria is not a good country, and poverty and insecurity. They will come back and finish the interview.
The topic for this video is how shameless and problematic Nigeria is at this point. I first of all know you would want me to mind my business and talk about my own country, Ghana. But listen, I don't really care about what you think. And if you haven't checked in my videos, I talk more about my country than any other on this platform. But at this point, it's not just silly and problematic how miserable Nigeria is. It's becoming for all of West Africa. And if you feel agitated already for my choice of words, wait and hear the rest of all I have to say. Let's get into it. Nigeria's population is a national security threat to every neighboring and West African country. As of March this year, Nigeria's population is more than half the total population of West African countries. More than half. This means on any given day, the influx of Nigerian citizens to any West African country will easily swallow up the entire local population. This is why every country in West Africa needs to have a say in what goes on in Nigeria on the backdrop of the fact that they like to travel, ladies and gentlemen. They like to move, and they are moving in numbers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, two major situations are making Nigeria look scary to the rest of Africa, especially the neighboring West African countries. And I said two major things. But first, let's put aside the lack of stable electricity and inflation for now. Those are regular problems everywhere that every country in Africa has to deal with. However, the two worrisome situations brewing in Nigeria, which threatens the sovereignty of other African countries, has to do with the religious extremism and poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to again hold back on the insults for now, and also put down your biased glasses and hear me out for a minute before you come in. Are you aware of the number of Islamist jihadist groups operational in Nigeria as of 2025? Let me give you the list, ladies and gentlemen. It started in the year 2000 with Boko Haram, whose aim is to establish an Islamic State in Nigeria. Then the first splinter group from Boko Haram, called Ansaru, was formed in 2012. After Ansaru came the next splinter group called Islamic State West Africa Province, aka ISWAP, which started in 2016. Darul Salam also came in from the Niger Delta, and then the multiple Fulani militant groups came in. Just when we thought these groups were too many to handle for one country, then we hear of a group originally from Mali and also operational in Niger moving in to Nigeria. They are called Lakurawa. The situation appears to get worse by the days, from one bad jihadist group to a worse group. Ladies and gentlemen, is Nigeria becoming, or already become, the main breeding ground for all terrorist groups in Africa? What's going on here? When other countries are thinking of ways to create conducive environment to entice foreign investment, Nigeria is rather enticing terror. Let me ask you this. What conditions are making the northern part of Nigeria so enticing to these groups in the first place? Because this is where almost all of them are situated. Every day I read the news in Nigeria, I get terrified. Every time. Because the spillover of these groups will directly enter all the nearby countries. These are countries in West Africa. This may include the splinter groups moving to other countries, or the citizens of Nigeria abandoning their own homeland for another. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious issue that needs immediate continental concern. Nigeria is a friend of Ghana. Nigeria is a part of ECOWAS. When they are moving into your country, we cannot turn them away. But when 1 million moves in at one time, what then becomes the fate of the host nation's security, sovereignty, and economy? And this can happen on any given day, ladies and gentlemen. And what actually terrifies me is this. I don't see any real political actions or steps taken by the leadership of the country to deal with the situation. You don't hear of the presidency talk about strategies. You don't hear of governors talk plans, and senators the same. Where are the marches, ladies and gentlemen, and the demonstrations on the streets to force the hand of the government to face it head on? Where are they? It's like the fate of the people in this country is in individuals' hands. Those with the resources may hire armed officers for their personal security, and those who don't have to live carefully and away from certain hotspots. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the best Nigeria can do in their own country? Day in, day out, all we hear is kidnapping, robbery on buses and even on trains, village killings, and so on. Is this ever going to change in Nigeria in the nearest possible time? Nigeria currently ranks 10 on every type of crime list in the world. Talk about cybercrime, organized crime, financial crimes, and extremism. You will find them on the top 10 list of all of them. What type of society are you building? On the criminality index on ocindex.net, you are 6th out of 193 countries. second out of African countries, and number 1 in West Africa. You are ranked 19th among the least peaceful countries in the world, and nothing shows it bothers you, especially they that hold power in the country. Omanaja, what's up? When you finally get the chance to vote for a president who may bring a difference to the country, you reject it. You vote the same type of leadership in every election, and the problems continues. Why won't you try change? Why can't the people try what Ghana did? You come out in your numbers. You create your own coalition centers. You protect the ballot boxes at all costs and ensure a free and fair elections for once in your lifetime. Because if you as a regular Nigerian don't like what's going on in your home country, you have to do something about it, ladies and gentlemen. That cannot be done by anyone else but yourselves, unless it benefits you. What's the ultimate goal here? When you have chosen democracy as your system of governance and it's only making life a living hell for the majority of the people, what is the plan, ladies and gentlemen? This is disturbing. Now, on to the second situation that is of equal concern as the first. This is about the level of poverty in Nigeria. You have more than 40% of your total population living below the global poverty line of $2.15 per day. That's more than 100 million people, ladies and gentlemen. That's a national security crisis. To have more than 100 million people who don't spend up to 3,300 naira in a day is problematic for the state's economy and for the people themselves. And here is how. The 3,300 naira per day will include your transport fare in and out to work if you have one, or to school, your breakfast, your lunch, your supper for one person. And so when that's not possible for more than 100 million people, then there isn't much these 100 million people are doing to contribute to the economy of the local state. People must work, produce, buy, pay taxes, and all of that, which runs the local economy. And that explains why countries whose citizens spend more do better than countries which citizens spend less. This is economic fact. Economic activities thrives off of demand and supply, buying and selling. And so when purchasing power drops, supply power is affected. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to that is the low rate at which Nigeria's economy is growing. With the kind of population you have and expected to have in the next 10 years, your economy cannot survive on a single-digit economic growth in a fiscal year. Currently in Nigeria, your country is growing on an average rate of 3.4%. 3.4%. That's super slow for your size. You need to move that thing to more than 10% per annum and sustain it over a decade to meet the surge ahead. Your country's population is projected to hit 290 million in the next 10 years, and that's adding at least 50 million more people to what you have now. So the pace you are running will have to change immediately. From 2020 to 2023, the average unemployment rate was over 39% of the capable workforce until last year, when the new administration by Tinubu had to revise the method for calculating to reduce it to now 5.3%. Whether that is accurate or not, the reality of the people hasn't changed, and that's a huge problem. Ghana and every other country for that matter have our own problems to deal with, but at least not with the numbers Nigeria comes with. The very fact that these two situations I've just described has a direct impact on all neighboring countries is what has triggered me to do this video, because the rise and success of Nigeria is in the interest of all African countries. In the same way, the fall and demise of Nigeria is detrimental to all African countries, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, whether it offends your pride as a successful Nigerian who doesn't like your country being talked about in a negative light or not, that's not only up to them or you to determine what others may say, because once there is a problem in your country, everyone will feel the impact. Just like it said, when Nigeria sneezes, every African country catches cold. Folks, I want to read your opinion on this matter without insult. So let's hear from you. And